Hey everyone, welcome back to Life in Motion. I'm Kate.
And I'm Alex. Hi, everyone. Today we're diving into something really personal, but also universal. Where do you see yourself this year?
Yeah, that question, it's exciting, but honestly, kind of intimidating too.
Totally. It's easy to say, I want to achieve more. But what does that even mean for you personally, professionally, emotionally?
Exactly. Most people just skim over it. We say things like, I want success or I want happiness. But if we really think about it, it's deeper than that.
Right. It's about understanding where you truly want to be by the end of the year, not just on paper.
And it's not only about goals, it's self-reflection. Like, if I ask myself, Alex, where do you see yourself? My first thought isn't career stuff. It's, am I living intentionally?
Yes, that's so important. External achievements are nice, money, promotions, but if you don't feel growth inside, then what's the point?
Exactly. I've been thinking about that a lot. It's like asking, am I the best version of me this year? Not perfect, just better than yesterday.
I love that. Better, not perfect. Progress matters more than perfection.
And progress can be small, right? Reading a bit more, meditating, starting a side project, or just being present with friends and family.
Totally. But here's the thing. Sometimes we think we know where we want to be, and then life throws curveballs.
Yeah, so it's not just about a destination. It's about noticing the little signs and adjusting as you go.
Exactly. This year, I think everyone should pause and ask themselves, where do I see myself? And am I actually moving toward that every day?
And it doesn't mean a rigid plan. Even writing down intentions helps, like, I will prioritize my mental health, or I will step out of my comfort zone. Those intentions shape your year way more than a strict plan ever could. Speaking of stepping out of your comfort zone, let's talk about that a bit. So, stepping out of our comfort zones this year? Easy? Easy? Nope. Every year I say, this year I'll finally do that thing, and somehow.
And somehow we're still procrastinating.
Exactly. But you know what? That tiny fear, I think it's a sign you're heading in the right direction.
Totally. Like if your heart races a little, maybe that's exactly what you should be doing.
Yes! And here's the tricky part. When people hear, where do I see myself this year, they immediately think big milestones.
Promotion, dream job, hitting some huge target.
Or, I'll finally get fit.
Yeah, but honestly, the small stuff is the real game changer. Daily habits, tiny decisions, they stack up.
Exactly. And reflection, just spending 5 minutes a day asking, did I move toward my vision today?
Smiling. Right. It's like compounding interest. You don't notice it day to day, but 6 months later, bam, you're different.
Emotional growth is huge too. Patience, empathy, managing stress, those ripple out in every part of life.
100%. This year, I started picking 3 intentions every morning, not tasks, qualities.
Ooh, like what?
Courage, patience, listen more than I speak, little things that set the tone for the day.
I love that. Simple, doable, not overwhelming.
And it keeps you aligned with your bigger vision, even if the year gets messy.
Totally. And speaking of messy, your vision can evolve. January Alex is not December Alex.
So true. Life throws curveballs, but that's okay. Adaptation is part of the game.
Exactly. And I feel like the question itself, where do I see myself this year, is so powerful because it forces honesty.
Yep, not with anyone else, but with yourself. And that honesty, sometimes uncomfortable.
Oh, big time. You might realize, wait, I haven't really been showing up for myself. But the moment you acknowledge it, that's step one.
And that's where most people struggle. They don't pause. They're caught up in the rush of life, scrolling, doing things they think they should.
Guilty. But this year, intentionality over busyness. That's the vibe.
Absolutely. And intentionality can be small, reading one chapter of a book, sending that delayed email, or having a real conversation instead of surface-level chats.
Quality over quantity always. Relationships, work, habits. Your year is shaped by engagement, not just activity.
And stop comparing. She's already there. He's doing this. Nah, your path is unique.
Oh, yes. And here's a mindset shift I love. Instead of asking, where do I want to be, ask, who do I want to become?
That's good. Much less pressure, but more profound. Even if the external stuff isn't perfect, becoming the person you want, that's success.
And growth isn't comfortable. Doubts, setbacks, failures, all part of the process.
Yep, but every challenge is also an opportunity to clarify your vision.
And tiny wins matter. Don't underestimate small victories, they create momentum.
Momentum is magical. Once you start moving in the right direction, things align. Opportunities, people, mindset, it all shifts.
And gratitude fuels that. Reflect on progress. Even if small, it gives confidence and clarity.
Gratitude is like a compass. It reminds you where you're going and energizes you to keep moving.
So really, where do you see yourself this year isn't just goal setting. It's reflection, mindset, intentionality, living fully.
And your vision doesn't have to be perfect. The key is asking the question, showing up, and taking steps, even tiny ones.
Exactly. Your vision will evolve, and every small action shapes your year.
That's exciting, isn't it? No matter what last year was, this year is yours to define.
Totally. Decide who you'll be, how you'll grow, what you'll achieve.
And even the tiniest step counts. A call, a journal entry, an email, it all matters.
Little steps are seeds. They grow into big things over time.
And remember, your year isn't the destination. It's the journey, the daily choices, the person you're becoming.
So, listeners, take a moment, grab a notebook, ask yourself, where do I see myself this year? And think about who you want to be, not just what you want to do.
Beautifully said. That question, compass, mirror, motivator, all in one.
All right, so we've talked a lot about reflection and vision, but now comes the tricky part. Action. How do you actually move toward where you see yourself this year?
Oh yes, the million-dollar question, because it's one thing to dream, it's another to wake up every day and actually do it.
Exactly. And honestly, the first step is deceptively simple. Start small.
Small? We always want huge leaps.
I know, but tiny, consistent steps are way more powerful. Like if your goal is health, it's not running a marathon on day one, it's taking a 10-minute walk, drinking water, making better food choices.
Or journaling for 5 minutes if your goal is clarity. Simple, but it compounds over time.
Yes, and speaking of journaling, I started a little trick this year. Every morning, I write one thing I want to embody that day. It's short, like a single word or phrase. Courage, patience, focus.
I like that. It's like a mini compass for the day.
Exactly. And the funny part is, even just thinking about it changes your behavior. You notice when you're acting aligned or not.
Oh, totally. And here's another thing I've realized. Accountability is huge. Tell someone your intentions, not for pressure, but for support.
Yeah, a partner, friend, or even a community online. The simple act of sharing your goal makes it more real.
And don't forget celebrating the tiny wins. Most people wait until the big milestone to feel accomplished, but every small step deserves recognition.
Absolutely. Even sending that email you've been delaying, that's progress.
Or meditating for 10 minutes when you said you'd do it. Those small victories build momentum, like we talked about earlier.
And momentum is magical. Once it starts, even the scary goals don't feel impossible.
But let's be honest, momentum can stall. Life throws curveballs, distractions, stress. How do you get back on track?
Good question. For me, it's about reconnecting with the why. Why am I pursuing this goal? What does it mean to me? Re-clarifying that vision reignites motivation.
Yes, and I love micro resets too. Like if a day goes off track, just pause, take 5 minutes, breathe, realign. One moment of awareness can reset your whole mindset.
I love that. Awareness is so underrated. Most people just power through, feeling guilty, instead of resetting consciously.
And while we're talking about mindset, let's not forget, your internal dialogue shapes everything. Words matter. Instead of saying, I can't, ask, how can I?
Yes, that's huge. Language literally rewires your brain. I can't closes doors. How can I opens possibilities.
And tiny habits create this shift naturally. Wake up, make your bed, drink water, take a walk, write one thing. Simple things that train your brain for consistency.
And consistency beats intensity every time. People overcomplicate. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about showing up every day.
And routines aren't restrictive, they're liberating. They reduce decision fatigue and free mental space for creativity and growth.
Oh, 100%. And speaking of creativity, I think experimenting matters. This year, I've been trying new things, even small experiments, to see what aligns with me.
Yes, I tried that too. Random workshops, online classes, journaling prompts. Some things didn't stick, but a few became life-changing.
And that's the key. You're exploring, not failing. Every no or this isn't for me is just data.
I love that. Reframing failure as data makes it less scary.
Exactly. And let's touch on energy, because your goals need energy. Sleep, nutrition, exercise. People forget the basics. You can plan all you want, but if you're drained, progress stalls.
So true. And even micro-energies matter. 5 minutes outside, deep breaths, stretching, they reset your focus and boost clarity.
And speaking of clarity, I've started weekly reviews. Every Sunday, I ask myself, what worked? What didn't? What do I want to focus on next week?
I love that. Reflection plus planning equals clarity, and it keeps your vision flexible while maintaining direction.
Flexibility is underrated. So many people rigidly stick to a plan and feel crushed when life shifts.
Life will shift. That's the only constant. And the more adaptable you are, the more empowered you feel.
And this is where I love the who do I want to become question. Your vision can evolve, but your core intention, your values, guide every step.
Exactly. Values are the North Star. Goals may change, but if your actions align with your values, you're still on course.
And let's give a practical example. Say your goal is to write a book this year.
Yes, let's break it down.
You don't need to write 500 pages tomorrow. Start with 10 minutes a day, even 200 words.
Small chunks, consistency beats cramming, and the book will come together over time.
And you can measure progress weekly. 200 words a day times 7 days is 1,400 words a week. The math is motivating, and all from tiny daily actions.
Exactly. Same principle applies to learning a skill, fitness, career growth, tiny actions compounded over time.
And don't forget community. Sharing your progress, getting support, it accelerates growth.
Totally. And accountability can be as simple as a friend asking, "Did you do it today?"
Or posting progress updates online. Public commitment can be motivating if done wisely.
And one last thing about action. Don't wait for motivation. It's fleeting. Action creates motivation, not the other way around.
So true. The first step is always the hardest, but once you start, momentum kicks in naturally.
And that's why we're emphasizing small, consistent steps, reflection, and flexibility. That's the formula to actually live your vision this year.
And remember, listeners, it's not about perfection. It's about showing up, learning, adjusting, and moving forward.
Exactly. Your year isn't a straight line. It's a journey, and the journey is shaped by these small, intentional choices every single day.
And I think if you can embrace that mindset, action, reflection, and flexibility, you'll see progress faster than you ever imagined.
Absolutely. So grab a notebook, write down your vision, break it into small daily actions, and start today.
Don't wait for Monday or next week. The best time is now.
And that's the magic of intentionality. It turns big dreams into daily reality.
So, to everyone listening, take one action after this episode, even something tiny. That's your first step toward your vision this year.
All right, so we've covered vision and action, but here's the thing. Action without reflection can feel like spinning your wheels.
So true. I've done that, running around, feeling productive, but actually not really moving forward.
Yup, and that's where reflection comes in. Taking just 10 minutes at the end of the day can make a huge difference.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. I do a quick, what went well, what didn't, what's next.
Ooh, I love that. Simple but powerful. And honestly, that tiny habit keeps your week and your year on track.
Exactly. And you know what else works? Journaling prompts. Questions like, what am I proud of today? Or what challenged me? And what did I learn?
I love that. And the learning part is huge. Every setback has a lesson if you look for it.
Totally. I remember last year I set this big goal, public speaking. And the first time I spoke, disaster. I froze, forgot points.
Oh, I remember you telling me that story. Yes, but reflecting later, I realized I learned more from that failure than months of preparation ever taught me.
Exactly. And that's the mindset shift, viewing failures as feedback.
Yes, and here's another reflection exercise I love, weekly vision review. Every Sunday I ask, am I moving toward my year's vision? What's aligned? What's off track?
That's golden. And it doesn't feel like pressure. It's just awareness. And awareness equals control.
Totally. And pairing it with gratitude makes it even stronger. Reflect on wins, even small ones. I wrote 500 words today. I meditated. I made a healthy choice.
Yes, celebrating progress keeps motivation alive. And it also reminds you that you are capable.
And let's talk mindset tools. For me, visualization is huge. I take a few minutes daily to imagine myself at the end of the year, living my vision, feeling proud, confident, fulfilled.
I do that too. It's like a mental rehearsal. Your brain starts believing it's possible, and your actions follow.
Exactly. And adding emotions makes it stronger. How it feels to be that version of yourself. Joy, confidence, calm.
And here's one I love, affirmations. Not cheesy stuff, but intentional, values-aligned statements. I am resilient. I am focused. I am growing.
Yes. When done with feeling, not just words, it really changes your inner dialogue.
And inner dialogue is everything. Most people sabotage themselves without realizing it.
Yep, and pairing affirmations with actions amplifies results. Say it, then do something that proves it.
Exactly. And let's talk about energy management too. Your mindset thrives when your energy is high. Sleep, nutrition, movement, breaks, all essential.
Even micro breaks, 5 minutes outside, stretching, deep breaths, they reset focus instantly.
And mindset plus energy equals momentum. Once you start moving in the right direction, it compounds.
And small daily rituals keep you consistent. Morning pages, short workouts, intentional reading. Consistency beats intensity.
Oh yes, and consistency builds confidence. You start trusting yourself. You can show up every day.
And that trust fuels risk-taking. Once you know you'll follow through, stepping out of comfort zones becomes easier.
And speaking of risk, trying new things is essential for growth. I've been experimenting with learning new skills. Some stick, some flop, but every experiment teaches me something.
Exactly. Even if it's uncomfortable or awkward, the learning is priceless.
And that's where resilience comes in. Bouncing back from setbacks, learning, and adjusting keeps your vision alive.
And reflection exercises strengthen that resilience. When you journal challenges and insights, you start seeing patterns.
Patterns that show what works for you, what doesn't, and where you need to pivot.
And speaking of pivoting, flexibility is key. Life changes, priorities shift, your vision evolves. And that's okay.
Absolutely. It's not failure, it's adaptation. And staying rigid often leads to frustration.
And here's a practical tip. Monthly reviews. At the end of each month, look at what you achieved, what you struggled with, and what you want to focus on next month.
I love that. It keeps the year in check without feeling overwhelming.
And these reflections don't have to be long. Even 10 to 15 minutes is enough to realign and recharge motivation.
And sometimes writing down your lessons and insights helps externalize your growth. You literally see how far you've come.
And that visual proof boosts confidence and keeps you moving forward.
Exactly. And one more thing, storytelling. Sharing your growth journey with others keeps you accountable and inspires others too.
Totally. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just honest. Here's what I tried, here's what I learned, here's what's next.
And even small wins become stories, proof that progress is happening, momentum is real.
And storytelling creates community. You realize you're not alone in struggles, and that support fuels growth.
And reflection plus action plus storytelling equals a year full of meaningful growth.
And that's the point of asking yourself, where do I see myself this year? It's more than goals. It's mindset, habits, energy, and connection.
And remember, listeners, tiny steps, daily reflection, and flexibility will get you further than trying to do it all at once.
And don't forget gratitude. Reflect on what's already working, what you're proud of, even small wins. It fuels motivation.
So after this episode, pick one reflection exercise, daily journaling, weekly vision review, or even just a 5-minute pause to ask yourself, am I aligned?
And do it consistently. Momentum comes from small, repeated actions, not grand gestures.
And with this, your year can feel intentional, purposeful, and exciting. Not just busy, but meaningful.
And that's exactly what we want for everyone listening, to take control, reflect, act, and grow.
Beautifully said.
All right, we've talked about vision, action, reflection, and mindset. But let's make this real. Let's talk stories. Real people, real growth.
Yes, because hearing someone else's journey makes it feel possible, like, oh, they struggled too, but they made it.
Exactly. And I want to start with a friend of mine. He wanted to start a small business this year.
Ooh, do tell.
So he had zero experience, barely any capital, and honestly, he was scared out of his mind. But he committed to one small action each day, researching the market, reaching out to one person, learning one skill.
That's powerful. Consistency over everything.
Right. 3 months later, his little business started gaining traction. He didn't wait for the perfect time or the perfect idea. He just started.
That's such a good reminder. We often wait for perfect conditions that never come.
And here's the kicker. He failed a bunch along the way. Suppliers messed up, products didn't sell, marketing flopped.
Oh no.
But he reflected, adjusted, and kept going. And by the end of the year, he built a business that's sustainable and growing.
Wow, that's exactly what we've been saying. Reflection plus action plus adaptability.
Exactly. And here's another story. My cousin. She was terrified of public speaking, couldn't even talk in front of a small group without shaking.
Oh, I remember when you told me this.
Yup, she started with tiny steps, practicing in front of the mirror, recording herself, then speaking in front of a friend, then small groups.
Baby steps. That's brilliant.
And by the end of the year, she gave a TEDx talk.
No way.
Yes, and it wasn't magic. It was reflection, consistent action, learning from mistakes, and stepping out of her comfort zone incrementally.
That's so inspiring and relatable because most of us feel that fear, but small, consistent steps make it possible.
Exactly. And let's be real, the first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, momentum starts to build.
And here's a story from my side. My friend wanted to improve her mental health. She was overwhelmed, stressed, anxious.
I feel that.
Yeah, so she started journaling 5 minutes a day, meditating for 10, and going for walks 3 times a week. Nothing drastic.
Tiny, consistent habits.
Exactly. And after a few months, she noticed a huge difference. She felt calmer, more focused, more energized, and her productivity skyrocketed too.
That's so powerful. Shows that action plus reflection plus energy management works in every area of life.
And it's proof that growth doesn't have to be dramatic. Tiny habits stack up into major transformation.
And that's what we're emphasizing with this podcast. Your year doesn't need massive leaps. You need small, intentional, consistent actions and the mindset to keep going.
And lessons learned along the way too. Every failure or challenge is data for your next step.
Exactly. And let's talk a little about mindset shifts from these stories. First, perfection is a myth.
Oh yes, waiting for perfect conditions is a trap.
Second, action creates motivation. You don't wait to feel ready, you act, and the motivation follows.
Third, reflection is power. Pausing, journaling, reviewing your progress, it keeps your vision alive.
Fourth, momentum is built on small wins. Celebrate them. Every step forward counts.
And fifth, resilience. Life throws curveballs. The stories we shared show that bouncing back and adjusting is part of success.
And let's make it practical for our listeners. You can start today with 3 steps. Write down your vision, even a sentence or 2. Pick one small action that moves you towards it today. Reflect for 5 minutes. What went well? What's next?
That's it. Simple, doable, but transformative if done consistently.
And remember, your journey will have ups and downs, but every step you take builds confidence, clarity, and momentum.
And the amazing part is, your growth inspires others. Sharing your journey creates connection and motivation for the people around you.
Yes, and that's why storytelling is so important. Don't just do it for yourself. Your story can light the path for someone else.
Exactly. And that brings me to a personal lesson I learned this year. I wanted to start a creative project, but I kept hesitating.
Ooh, what happened?
I started small, 10 minutes a day. Some days I didn't feel like it, but I showed up anyway. And now, months later, the project is almost complete.
That's amazing, and it's proof that showing up matters more than feeling ready.
Exactly. And it also taught me that patience plus consistency beats motivation every time.
And that's the final lesson for today's segment. Your year isn't about perfect planning or instant results. It's about showing up, learning, reflecting, adjusting, and growing.
And if our listeners take anything from this episode, it's that you can start today. No excuses, no waiting for perfect conditions. One small step is enough to create momentum.
And with that, we're ready to move on to part 5, where we'll wrap up with powerful exercises, actionable tips, and a motivational close to make sure your year becomes everything you envision.
Stay tuned. It's going to be inspiring and practical, and you'll walk away ready to take action today.
All right, we've covered vision, action, reflection, mindset, and even inspiring stories. Now let's give our listeners some practical exercises they can do today to take control of their year.
Yes, because all the ideas in the world don't help unless you act. So, first exercise. Grab a notebook or your phone and write down your yearly vision.
Keep it simple. A sentence or 2 is enough. Ask yourself, where do I see myself this year? Who do I want to become?
And don't overthink it. Your vision can evolve. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Exactly. Next exercise, break that vision into small daily actions. What's one thing you can do today that moves you toward it?
Even tiny steps count. Write 200 words, take a 10-minute walk, meditate, call someone, whatever aligns with your vision.
And third exercise, a daily reflection. Take 5 minutes at the end of the day. Ask yourself, what went well and what can I improve tomorrow?
Add gratitude to that. Write down one thing you're proud of. It keeps your motivation alive and reinforces progress.
And don't forget weekly reviews. Every Sunday, ask yourself, am I aligned with my vision? What adjustments do I need?
That's huge. Reflection plus adjustment equals consistent growth.
And one more practical tool, visualization. Take a few minutes daily to imagine yourself living your vision, feeling confident, proud, and accomplished.
Add emotions to it. Joy, excitement, calm. Your brain starts believing it's possible and your actions follow.
And here's a tip for accountability. Share your vision with a friend, mentor, or community, not for pressure, but for support.
Even small updates, like today I did this, create momentum. You'll feel inspired to keep going.
And don't wait for motivation to strike. It's fleeting. Action creates motivation, not the other way around.
Yes, so even if you don't feel like it, take that first step. Tiny action leads to momentum.
And remember, consistency beats intensity. Showing up every day, even imperfectly, is what builds results.
Let's give our listeners a fun challenge. For the next 7 days, do one small action aligned with your vision every day. Then journal for 5 minutes about what worked and what didn't.
By the end of the week, you'll already see progress and clarity. It's a small commitment with a huge payoff.
And combine it with gratitude. At the end of the week, write 3 things you're proud of. Tiny wins stack up into massive momentum.
And here's a mindset hack. Focus on who you're becoming, not just what you're doing. Your growth and daily habits shape your year far more than a single achievement.
Absolutely. And flexibility is key. Life changes. Priorities shift. That's okay. Adjust and continue moving forward.
And resilience matters. When setbacks come, pause, reflect, adjust, and keep going. Every challenge teaches a lesson.
And remember, your growth can inspire others. Share your journey. Your story may motivate someone else to take their first step.
So, listeners, to summarize today's action-packed wrap-up, 1. Write your yearly vision.
2. Break it into daily actions.
3. Reflect daily and weekly.
4. Celebrate tiny wins.
5. Visualize your success with emotion.
6. Share your journey for accountability and inspiration.
7. Take action before motivation.
That's it. Simple, but if done consistently, it transforms your year.
And remember, your year is about intentionality, growth, and showing up for yourself. Not perfection, just progress.
And here's the most important thing. Start right now. Don't wait for Monday or the first of the month. One tiny action today will build momentum for tomorrow.
And the beauty is your year isn't defined by one big leap. It's defined by small, intentional steps repeated over time.
And reflection, action, energy, mindset, they all work together to create a meaningful, fulfilling year.
And if our listeners take one thing from this entire podcast, it's this. Your year is yours to shape. Ask yourself the question, where do I see myself this year? And then act, reflect, and grow.
Exactly. It's a journey, and every step counts. Celebrate the small wins, embrace growth, and stay flexible.
And with that, we'll leave you with one final thought. Your future is not something that just happens to you. It's something you create every single day.
So go ahead, take that first step, reflect, and keep moving. Your year is waiting, and it's full of possibility.
Thanks so much for joining us on Life in Motion. We hope today's episode gave you clarity, motivation, and practical tools to make this year truly yours.
And don't forget, tiny steps, daily reflection, intentional action, they add up to big transformation.
Until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and keep growing.
Bye everyone, make this year count.